right, I definitely don't want that in there. Okay, so I don't show that there's any viewers on here, but that's okay. I do want to make sure that I go ahead and I do get a lot of people on the replay, so I understand. This just works out better for me to be able to have this all recorded live than to make a video and have to edit it and then upload it. So at least the information is still out there. If you're here on the replay, thank you so much. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you found this useful. It just kind of helps me get the video out there. I've been trying to just kind of talk about it on Facebook and things like that because everything that I share is free and I want to offer that opportunity to as many people. But unfortunately, I think a lot of sites see it as like self-advertisement and things like that. So I've been removed from a couple of groups, which sucks. But it is what it is. I'm just going to stick to my own Facebook group, our Pixel group that I use all the time, and then just keep sharing the activities in my group. So if you want the free activities, if you're catching the live, they're always going to be linked here for free. They don't take you to any other site. All you have to do is just click the link and then it adds a copy straight into your Google Drive and then you're ready to use it in your classroom. And the whole purpose of the live is to help you on how to make your own if the ones that I make don't necessarily work for you, right? So these can be used for any content, any grade level. I've used them with my daughter since kindergarten. She is now going into 3rd grade, but she's learned how to type through it. She is, again, going into 3rd grade and is already multiplying. Not by memorization, but she knows how just kind of numbers work because she plays so much with the idea of them. So again, I like making them. I've taught high school first. I use them with my high school classroom, and then now I'm teaching middle school, and I've taught 8th grade and 7th grade, and again, they get used there as well. And in the Pixel group, they get shared so much from all kinds of other content. So I know that kids love them. So I'm going to keep sharing them. But unfortunately, it's just going to be here. So here on YouTube and then also on my own Facebook group. So the Pixel group that I run with Julianne and Debbie, that will continue. It's always been there. It's always free. It's always linked in the video as well. So again, that's just an introduction. If you read the description after the live and you were interested in my Google Drive full of activities and you want to donate to Rodrigo's trip, you can definitely do that. All of that is going to be in the description as well. Again, that donation, if you watch the last live, none of that goes to me. It's 100% goes towards funding his trip. Rodrigo is going to be flying to Japan with my son for their school trip at the end of next year when Sebastian graduates. And if you wanted to make a donation as an incentive to donating, I'm giving away all of the activities that are in my Google Drive. So just you can go and read that in the description that's there and then send me an email if you are interested. But again, none of that goes to me or to my son. So let's just go right in. I'm going to share the one that you see here is probably my favorite scavenger hunt that I have made to date. I've made a lot, and again, you can see them in the Facebook group. I've made a ton of them. This is the Dia de los Muertos activity that I made for solving equations. I also have a Harry Potter one to share with you guys. This is probably my second favorite. And I'll tell you why one's my favorite, one's the other one. This one is not, I feel like as much as I like Harry Potter more than I like Coco because I am a huge Harry Potter fan, the Coco one has a lot more going on that I found super fun when I was making it. So the way that the scavenger hunts work, kids scavenge around for a question, right? So this is the map that they would go to. Let me just play this slideshow. I think that'd be better. So if they want to go to the Hogwarts Castle, they go over to the Hogwarts Castle. It tells them right here, this is the Great Hall. It gives them a question. And then on the answer sheet, and here, they would answer under, so they would find the Great Hall here. And where'd it go? Hogwarts Great Hall. And they would answer that in there. If their answer is correct, they're going to get some coins that show up, and they're building up this meter. So the answer sheet is done on Google Sheets, and it's self-checked, so they know whether or not they're getting the correct answer. And then the slides are made in Google Slides. When I taught in person, what I like doing is I like having one Chromebook per group, maybe of 3 or 4. I did try to keep my groups to 3, but if I needed to have groups of 4, we did that as well. So in the group of 3, one student was in charge of showing the presentation. Then they would all be showing their work and typing their answers into their own answer sheet. So every kid had an answer sheet, and every student had, and every group had one of these to show. Okay. The way that I make these are also 8.5 by 11. So if you wanted to print them out and put them around your classroom and not have Chromebooks, you can do that as well. That takes away the self-checking aspect of it though. But again, that's up to you. Sometimes it's nice to have the kids get up and walk around. Okay. Obviously now though, I teach online. Hi, Crush On. Thanks for being here. So now I teach online, so this works perfectly because the kids have the presentation and they have their answer key. Okay, so I worked out one of the problems. It was Hagrid's hut. So this problem here on Hagrid's hut, B ends up being 30. So if we go over here to Hagrid's hut, we type in 30, and then you see that that box opens up, and now they can no longer answer the top question. Here's the thing. This is not the one that I'm going to be showing how to make, and there's a reason why I chose to go with more straightforward ones. I am going to share this. You're free to have it though. If you teach math, this is a great one to have. This one's on Pythagorean theorem. But the reason why I'm not making this type and I'm going with a more straightforward one is because no matter how hard I try to give out the directions, there's always a few students that try to answer all the questions. And then grading is a nightmare. It's no longer neat. This meter is all over the place. So there's always going to be those kids that get extra confused. And I just haven't found the way, I think, to present the information in a way where everyone gets it. So to me, that ends up being not accessible to everyone. So as much as I love this activity, I think it's fun. The kids that get it love it. I find myself over explaining a lot of it. And again, that takes away from what I want out of these activities. So the purpose of this one is that they choose one question from each stop. And to me, that's really simple, right? Just one. Choose one from those two, answer that question, and that's why the other one gets read out. If your answer is incorrect, so let's say this one, like I put 15, you get a big X showing you that the answer is incorrect. This didn't open up. And the other one is not read because you can still answer it since this one is incorrect. So you still have an opportunity to answer the other question if the one you originally chose didn't go well. So again, there's a lot that I love about this one. But for some reason, I feel like there's something that doesn't click with some students, and I don't like that personally. I want my students to enjoy what they're doing, and the whole point of having something self-check is to just kind of egg them on to show them that they're doing things correctly so that they are encouraged to keep going. And if they just have an activity that's fuzzy, that might break that I'm trying to accomplish, if that makes sense. So let me share this in the chat. This is the Harry Potter presentation. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. Just if you want to copy, it'll also be in the description if you're catching the replay. They're all going to be in there. Here is the student answer sheet. Let's put it over in the chat as well. And I'm going to close these two. And then the Coco one works the same, but in this one instead, this is why I love this one so much. So I don't know if it's going to share because I think I put my volume down for the screen, but on this one, when they select a song, it's supposed to actually play it. There it is. So you can hear the song playing. I love this one. And then they're solving the equation. So this one took me a long time to find the songs, to have enough songs to do this one. A good movie from the 90s. Ooh, I don't know. How about, is Hocus Pocus from the 90s? I'm feeling very Halloween-y now that I'm looking at Coco. There you go. Or, I don't know. I get my years kind of confused now that I'm older, right? Everything feels like the 90s, even though it's probably early 2000s. All right, so here's the Coco one. Again, this one's on solving equations. I absolutely love this one. It is one of my all-time favorite ones. It has the music on every slide. Kids really like this one. They end up wanting to go through all the slides. And then how fun is this? I mean, this looks amazing. So I'm going to share this one. This is like a track record. And here is the answer key for the Coco one. Oh, I love Coco so much. All right. Poof. We're going to get rid of this. This is all done now. Oh, this one if you wanted to. This is the answer key for Coco. If you want it. Okay. Let's close this out. We don't need this anymore. And now I'm going to present to you the one that we're going to be using. So here is the one that I made that works just like this one. Again, I've made so many of these. There is a video that I already have that's pre-recorded from my channel. It has over 7,000 views where I taught how to make these from scratch. So beginning to end, how to make the scavenger part of it. So these templates, okay, so the picture, the map, how to link it, all of that is in already recorded, and I will link that into the description as well in case you want to know how to start from just a blank Google slide and how to add your own pictures in it. This inside out one and the frozen one that I'm going to show was made by Kristen McMahon in our Pixel group. She shared a bunch of them after using my video. So she used that video and she made a bunch of them and shared the templates. And I took one of them and turned it into an activity. They're really nice to have already kind of created. So if you are interested, I'm going to type her name in the chat. She doesn't have any other social media, but if you search our Facebook group for Christine McMahon, I think that's how you say her last name, then you're going to see all the ones that she created. So what she did is she created a scavenger hunt and then an answer key to go with it. So that's what I'm going to use to turn this into an activity. I chose to do it on fractions because I'm going to be teaching 7th grade next year. And there's going to be a lot of questions about fractions in the first semester. So the way that this one works, it's a lot more straightforward. There are some changes that I made to the scavenger hunt template, and I will explain those as well. So students just click on, for example, headquarters. It takes them to that question, and then they just answer it directly on here. As they're answering the questions, it begins to get colored in, and it looks like this. So they're coloring sheets. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this one as well in case you are interested. This one is on probability and statistics. So statistics and probability for 7th or 8th grade. So there's that one. And then here's the answer sheet for the inside out one. And if you wanted the inside out template, again, you can look up Christy on Facebook and be able to get all of these templates to put your own questions and answers. Okay, but at least you have one completed if you teach 7th or 8th grade. Maybe 6th grade can even use it. You can do that as well. So I'm going to close this, and this. All right. So I do see we have 5 viewers now, so thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like the video at the end if you enjoy it, and then make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and also catch any of the replays. There's a ton of freebies in those descriptions. Even just opening it and taking the links that you want, I'm not gonna judge. Definitely, this is our summer, and we're using our summer to prep. I mean, to be here, that's pretty awesome of us. So this is the frozen one that I am going to be using. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, there's no secrets. If there's anything that you're wondering how it works, I'm more than happy to dive right into it and show you. So that's the whole point of this, is just kind of showing you how to make these. Okay, so I'm going to share this one. This is the frozen one. Again, this was made by Christy. And I'm going to make a copy for myself because I don't want to use the original. And this is going to be frozen scavenger hunt. And I'm going to do it on fractions. Adding fractions, actually. Adding fractions. Okay. And then this is the answer key that goes with it. In the chat is the link. I am going to copy this and make a copy, and this is going to be adding fractions student sheet. And let's close this out. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between adding questions to the template and then adding things here to the scavenger, to the answer key. I'm going to just kind of show here how to, I mean, you can change anything you want on here, right? Everything is just text. You can change the Bitmojis. This is actually Christy's Bitmoji. If you look at the one that I just shared, the inside out one, I changed my Bitmoji, but for some reason I've been logged out of my Bitmoji, and I can't get back in. I don't know. I don't remember the password, and I really just don't want to reset it right now. But if you have that Bitmoji thing here, all you got to do is really just look up the one you want, and you drag and you drop them, and they go right in there. So you can change it for your own Bitmoji if you want to. Okay, but I'm going to leave Christy's in this one. And then if I'm so inclined later on, I'll go through and I'll change them. Yeah, so here's the first one. So it says your goal is to visit all the people and places around Arendelle. Read all the instructions below. Once you are on the magical map of Frozen, choose a character and place to click on. When you get to your destination, you will encounter a problem that you must solve. Once you've solved the problem, click on the snowflake in the bottom right corner to return to the map. Once you're back on the... Okay, so I'm going to add one more in here. So where you get a destination and cause problems to solve. Once you've solved the problem, type your answer in the answer sheet. If your answer is correct, a piece of the image will be colored in. Once you confirm your answer is correct, click on the snowflake at the bottom right corner to return to the map. Okay, so I think I like that. I might change the directions later, but this is just letting students know that they do have to go to this one here. You can link this into here. Like, for example, I do like to link them here. So grab your answer sheet here. Right, so I can link it directly to this one. So instead of having it on slide 1, I'm going to remove this link, right? So if you click on it, I'm going to remove that link, and I'm going to take this one and go copy, and then we're going to link it here. So use this little link, paste, and copy. And then that's going to give them each a copy of the scavenger hunt. You could do that if you have Google Classroom though, and you're assigning both, you could do that as well. So just direct them where to go to find that answer key. Okay, now this is what I like to change, and I will show you. I didn't do this on the video that I showed how to make this from scratch, and that's because I didn't know how to do that. So now what I do is I take the map that's already all linked and how I like it, and I duplicate, so I copy it, and then I paste it in between, and I hide these. So I'm going to click and then go to skip slide. And the reason why I do that is because I don't want students to just scroll through all the pages. I want them to physically click on the map. That's the whole point, right, of the scavenger hunt. So just paste and then skip, paste, and skip, paste, and skip, paste, and skip, paste, and skip. I'll show you what this does. Paste and skip, paste and skip. Skip. And I'm still doing the same thing. Okay, so now when you're in here, right, if I hit the arrow to the right, I am going to go to the next page. That's okay. But now if I keep hitting the arrow to the right, I'm just switching the map. I'm just going from map to map because the other slides in between are skipped. If they want to go to an answer, they got to click on something. Okay. And I think that's fair because those are the directions. And also you just don't want kids to click, 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 click. Like there's supposed to be some sort of activity. These work great for sub days because everything they need is in here. It's self-checking. So these work really well for that. Okay, so that's the big change that I'm going to make. I feel like everything else is very much like other ones that we've done where your answers are on sheet 2. Let's see where these are hidden. What part of sheet 2 are they in? Oh, here they are. Okay, so this is the image that, again, she made using our templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and erase them because we're not going to need those. And I'm going to hide the image because we don't need that either. And here's the question, and then these are the answers where you're going to put them at. You're not going to touch this column here. We're going to put the right answers on here when we know what they are. Okay, so I am going to be adding fractions. That's what these are going to be. Okay, so I'm going to change this to solve. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's start with the first one. I didn't realize that was in the first one. So evaluate the following. No, solve the following equation. Add the following fractions. There's 4 viewers here. What should I say? I'm having students add 2 fractions together. Add the 2 fractions. Yeah, let's do that. Add the following fractions. And then that's going to be my instructions. I'm going to put the fraction in there. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put in your answer sheet, use a / as a fraction bar. Okay. That's not gonna work. I want her to be there. Let's just make this a little bit smaller. All right, that works. Maybe I can build this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is, if you notice, this background here is a little dark. I want you to be able to see the picture, and you can move this anywhere that you want. All right, so maybe I'll put it here. I guess that's also a good spot, kind of down here. Doesn't matter where you put it, but you can make this lighter too. So if you go into the fill color and you go to edit, I guess you could go here. Oh, why don't I remember how to do this? Oh, here. Oh, add a custom color. There we go. So if you go to add a custom color, you slide this over to the side, you make this a little lighter. So when you're typing, you can still see it, but at the same time, your text is not going away. So I think I needed it a little darker than that. Yeah. Probably here in the middle. All right, I like that one. Not as dark as this where you could barely see the picture, but not so light as I had it that last time. All of my questions are going to be on adding fractions, so this works. I don't want to do this over and over, so I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to delete the one that's there and paste. And again, remember, you can move these around if you wanted to. So again, it just saves time. I already did the work. I don't have to do it over and over and over again. She has a nice, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I love the Bitmoji that she chose here. It's so funny. I feel like she needs to be bigger here. She's the star because she made all these. So there's that one. Almost done. Okay, that's it. Okay. So because, again, I'm adding fractions. If you are changing your questions around, then maybe it's not worth to copy and paste. But I am not changing my questions around. They're all going to be on adding fractions. So we're going to keep that there. I'm wearing shorts and I was getting stuck to my chair. It's so hot. Okay. Not that you needed to know that, but hey. Okay. Now I have it set up, ready for my questions and my answers. And again, Christy made at least, I want to say like 10. So there's like 10 of hers in there, plus like 20 that I've shared, that I've made. So there's a lot of templates that are already made like this without questions. You don't have to start from scratch. If you want a specific theme though, right? Like, I don't know, maybe I was going to say Christmas or Halloween, but those are also on the site. But I don't know, there's an anime that you really love, so you want to make an anime one. Then I would suggest starting from scratch. But if you are not particular and you just want to make a scavenger hunt, there are so many free templates on that Facebook group, right? Just go grab them. I'm pretty sure that Christie's are, if I remember correctly, there's a post. So if you search her name, there's a post on Facebook that she posted all 10 of hers or however many she made, and you just copy it and it copies the entire folder over. So yeah, there's a lot. She shared so many. Okay, let's get to, you're probably like, lady, I just want to see how you add the questions. Math. If you are teaching English or Spanish or science or literally anything else that doesn't need an equation, you could just type the question in. Not a big deal. And then the answers. But because I'm typing fractions and I want them to look like fractions, I'm going to use the same trick I've talked about before, and that is using PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to go over into my PowerPoint, insert an equation, and I'm going to need two fractions and an equal sign and a plus in between. I am going to make this really large font because it's easier to shrink than it is to enlarge without losing resolution. So let's just start, I guess, with some easier ones. So I have, for example, I'm going to do a couple, I guess these are all like denominators. So let's do ones that don't need to be simplified. So I'm going to start with that, with something that doesn't need to be simplified. So 2 over 7 plus 3 over 7. And I'm going to call this. Now I'm going to save the picture, and I'm going to save this as picture 1. I'm just going to put a number 1. It's going to go on desktop. Okay. Now, so I'm going to move back and forth. I'm going to go into my presentation and go, you can drag and drop, but I'm just going to go to insert image, upload from computer, and there it is. So what I like about this, notice how there's no background. That's why I like using PowerPoint. And there you go. All right, the answer for this one is 5 over 7, right? 5 over 7, and that is going to be on marshmallow. So on marshmallow, my correct answer is 5 over 7. 5 over 7 can be read as a date, right? May 7th. So I don't want that. So I'm going to go to format and then change this to plain. Oh, it's already plain text. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on this one, format, plain text, and that's going to be 5-7. All right. So notice how before it was incorrect, right? It's red, but now the correct answer is 5 over 7. And I'm just going to move through it like that. Okay. So this next one is Prince Hans. So things like that. Okay. So that one's done. Go to the next one. My next fraction that I'm going to use, let's do 11 out of 20 plus 6 out of 20 and save. And then this one's going to be 2 and insert image, upload from computer, make it smaller, and this answer is 17 out of 20 for Prince Hans. It's going to be incorrect, but I'm going to go over here, Prince Hans. There you go. Right? So this part's super simple. You're just adding the question, putting the answer, adding the question, putting the answer. So I'm going to keep working on this until I have all 10. I think it's 10 questions, right? 12. So until I have all 12 questions. And then once I have all 12 questions, I will show you how to hide the answers. And then you're done. That's it, right? And if you already know how to hide the answers, basically, this is all you got to do when you're ready to assign to your students. So you can stick around, just kind of watch me work. If you're catching the replay, you can definitely fast forward. We're almost there. If you don't want to stick around, but you're interested on the next live, I'm going to do the next live next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, just for scheduling purposes, and I'm going to talk about task cards. So free self-checking activities that involve task cards. Okay, so those are really popular. I'm going to do that one next. Okay, so this one I'm going to do 4 out of 15 plus 4 out of 15. And that answer is 8 out of 15. And this is going to be 3. But I'll definitely make a post on Facebook about it. Bloop. Eight out of 15 is the answer for Oaken. Next one. All right, okay, let's do 4 that don't require any simplifying. 5 out of 13 and 6. 13. And that's going to be 11 out of 13. I feel like when people find out how easy these are to make, they're like, oh, I really could just make my own. 11. It was Arundel, right? Yeah, 11 out of 13. I just want to confirm. Actually, you know what? These are all going to be, I'm going to do that to all of them. Select, format, and plain text for all of them, just in case. The plain, if you have it as automatic and then it reverts to a date, it won't work later when you make a copy. So that part's important when you're using fractions. You don't really have to worry about it when you're using words or anything like that, because it'll automatically go where it needs to go. Okay, so that was 4, and because this is 12 questions, I guess I can do 6 and 6. All right, let's do one more without needing to simplify. Let's do one that maybe needs a little bit more adding. So 27 plus 32 is 59. Let's make this out of 100. $59 out of 100 can't be simplified, so all right, 59 out of 100 for Olaf. That's that one. And now the next one, this is number 6, so technically half. So on this one, I'm going to add a disclaimer in here. I'm just going to erase one of these, and then I'm just going to say, don't forget to simplify. You can add that to all of them, really, if you wanted to. So now what I'm going to do is, I guess I could do that too. I'm just going to copy this so that I don't have to resize these. I'm just copying the text now. So selecting one above, because these are going to need to be simplified and I want them to have that reminder. Okay. Okay. I feel like I have a sneeze coming, so I apologize if I do sneeze. Let's do 3 out of 10. I knew it. It was coming. Okay, 3 out of 10 plus 3 out of 10. Oh no. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do that one. I'm gonna make this one 7. Sorry. Let's put that one 7, because what I wanted to do is I wanted one that adds up to 1. So let's do 13 out of 21. 21, and then 8 out of 21. So this one would be 21 out of 21. So this one will be 6. Hi, Patty. So 6. This one's the one that adds up to 1. So again, I just wanted one that adds up to a whole, because Ice Palace is going to be 1. Ice Palace for 1. Ice Palace for 1. If you guys have watched Frozen. All right, number 7 is that one that I did. Six out of 10, or the correct answer would be 3 out of 5, simplified. So 3 out of 5 for trolls. Right? Are we in the right one? Yep. Trolls. And okay. We're almost done. A little bit more than half. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, because I've been going back and forth, I'm just going to add... you could remove some, but I don't know. Let's just finish. Let's do this the right way. Let's see. I don't know why I'm having a hard time picking fractions right now. 3 out of 10 and like 1 out of 10. 10's easy to work with. It's going to be 8. Next, insert image, and 4 out of 10 is 2 out of 5. For Anna. Okay. Let's see, 7. Trying to switch the denominators. 5 out of 16 would be 12 out of 16. 3 over 4. Alright, so this one would be 3 over 4. And it's number 9. Number 9. Insert image. Somebody is at my door. I don't know if you guys heard the knock, but I am still here. Angie, is that you? I'm almost done. All right, so this was 3 out of 4. 3 out of 12 out of 16. Yeah, 3 out of 4. For Ship in the Fjord. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Okay, getting closer. Only 3 left. Hardest part is coming up with questions. And Arendelle Castle, let's do 23 out of 50. 23 is my sister's favorite number. If my best friend is watching this, he knows why I'm laughing. Oh. Number 10 already? Yep, 10. Almost there. Ah! 23. That's going to be 30, 40 out of 50, so 4 out of 5. Right? Yep. 4 out of 5. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, 4 out of 5. For Arendelle Castle. 2 more. All right, so that 11 and 12 is what we have left. Let's do another one that adds up to 1. How about 2 out of 7 and 5 out of 7. This one's going to be 11. And Christoph is 1. All right, last one. Let's do maybe another one that takes some more math. 11 out of 30 and 17 out of 30. That would make that 28. So 14 out of 15. Is 12. All right, I'm not going to need this anymore, so I'm going to close it. I don't need to save it. And insert image, upload from computer, and then this one ends up being 14 out of 15. For Sven. Okay, yay, we have the whole presentation. This one's done. Okay, so this one's all the way done. This is how I suggest that you present it to students. Okay, so you go to share and you go to anyone with a link. Okay, so we want to make sure that this is correct. I'm going to copy this right now and I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can have a copy of it. How you share to students though, so that theirs is a presentation, you go to File, and then you go to Publish, Share. So File, Share, Publish to the web. Hi, Roshan. That's okay. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And then I'm going to go to Publish. Okay, so it's going to say, are you sure you want to publish? And I'm going to say, okay. And then this is the link that you would share with students. You don't want students to have a copy of the presentation. You want them to be able to see it in presentation mode. And the reason why I use the publish link, it's because now the publish link is only a presentation. Okay, so that's it. So that's how I would share it with them. So I'm going to put that in the chat if you want to like click around it. And then the second thing that I encourage you to do, I'm not going to do that on this one because I want people to be able to make a copy if they want it. But when I make a copy for my own class, what I'm going to do is in this share button, I'm going to go to this little settings. And then I'm going to remove this viewers and commenters can see the option to make a copy. I'm going to take that out. So then students cannot make a copy of that presentation, because if they make a copy of the presentation, then they're able to dig through this, which is what we don't want, right? We want them to have a presentation to click around. So again, that's this little settings button. And then you want to take out the option for them to download, print, and copy. You still have that option because you're the owner, but anybody that is viewing or editing can't do that. They can't make a copy of it, okay? And then you can also, if you wanted to, if you have other teachers, for example, that are editing it, you can take away their permission to share it outside of your, of your ownership of it. All right, so I'm gonna put these back though, because I want people to be able to copy this one. Okay, so that's the presentation. Anytime that you're using slides, you do want to take that away from students, the ability to make a copy, unless you want them to make a copy, because they will make a copy and they'll be able to see if you have, for example, speaker notes or anything like that, they'll be able to see all that if they make a copy of it, which you probably don't want. Okay, so my tip. Now we gotta go finalize this one. Ooh, 14 out of 15. 14 out of 15. Oh. There we go. Was that right? Yeah. Okay. This is the complete answer key. So I'm going to change this into answer key. Answer key. Now we got to hide those questions. I don't need these anymore, right? Because I have them in the template. I don't need to know where they go. Students don't need to know what answers they are. And then I erase that. Everything else needs to stay. Your answers and these little number ones, those need to stay. So I'm just going to highlight them. I'm going to right click, view more cell options and conditional formatting. I've shown this before. I changed the background to white and the font to white. So now they've disappeared. Okay. If you really wanted to, you can also make it size 1. Then I'm going to grab from B all the way to Z and hide. And then make A really tiny. And then last but not least, I'm going to hide sheet 2. All right, so now all those answers are hidden in there, and you just have the answer key. This is what I would use so that I know what the answers are. But now I got to make a copy of this one. And this will be my student sheet. So not the answer key. Take this out. And then on this one, I'm going to erase the answers from here. So now students have to type in the answers, and this is what I would assign to students, right? So students would have this one assigned to them. I'm going to change the share settings, and share this one in the chat. You already have the presentation, and now you have the answer key. If you are teaching anything with fractions, now you have a complete activity. So that is it. That is all that I have for the scavenger hunt. I hope that you found this useful and that you end up using some of the templates to create your own. If you are inclined and you are in the Facebook group, I would love it if you shared anything that you create. I know that teachers really appreciate it, and that's why that group has grown to over 65,000 of us, because we like using activities, right? It saves us time if others have already created and they're willing to share their hard work. Everyone appreciates it. Thank you so much for being here or for watching if you are catching the replay. Again, my next live is going to be on Saturday, not Sunday, so Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific. I will make a post in the community post and on Facebook as well to remind you, and we're going to be talking about task cards. Okay, so I will see you on the next one, and have a fantastic rest of your day.